What's up? What's up? I hope everybody's doing well today. And sorry, I'm still pulling some stuff together, but hopefully that gives people some time to kind of pour in. Mm, cool stories for today. I don't know. I don't think I have one, honestly, or like for this week. I can't think of anything really cool that has went down. I went to the comic shop earlier, so I'll be showing off some of the books that I picked up. I've read not a ton of books, but I have read some books this week, so I'm excited to kind of share some of those. It's Friday afternoon. I just picked up all the kids. We got back from school. One of them has homework, so they'll be doing that. And I basically went to the comic shop. What's up, Rami Salami? That's awesome. Yeah, make yourself something good. I'm having an afternoon beer. I just got back from picking up the kids. So my day is, I'm not saying it's complete. I still got to wash some dishes and make some supper. And I might make a run to my friend's house later. So anyway, yeah, I just picked up bags and boards earlier. I could have sworn I got the self-sealing. That's frustrating. You gotta be kidding me. I like the self-sealing bags. Oh, what? And I know why, too. I know how I did that. Crap. Okay. Well, if you can see, these are current comic bags, but they're not self-sealing, so I guess I'm going to have to break out some tape, but I'm not going to do that right now anyway, because most of these books aren't going to be sealed in. But yeah, I just got bags and boards and got back to the house, so I haven't really been through my haul, nor have I... Squadron Supreme. I recognize the name. I don't know anything about that book, though. Why are you saying whoops? Please tell me you didn't cut yourself making food. Food's too nice to mess yourself up. Yeah, so it's been a pretty chill Friday. I just picked up all the kids. So I'm back home, relaxing. And I might go hit up a friend later and go hang out. But for the most part, this is the end of my Friday. And that's exciting because it's time to kick. Oh, wrong bags, yeah. I hate the way they have it set up because they have like current bags, non-self-sealing, and then they have the ones that are self-sealing right next to it, and then like gold and silver and magazine and stuff. And so I had picked up the self-sealing and was looking at it, and I couldn't find I couldn't find the boards for current. So then I like set it down while I was looking all over, seeing if it got all mixed up. And I thought I had set it in the other stack, and I just blindly reached up and grabbed it, not realizing that I was grabbing the other one. And anyway, so yeah, I'll just have to tape a lot of bags, but whatever. I mean, it's not the end of the world. So, everybody's probably wondering what I picked up. I mean, all two of you, one of you. Well, let's see. I mean, I probably will, but it's actually more like code for buy some more because I'm running low. Hey, what's up? Man, if y'all have not read El Crudo, check that book out. It's so good. It's about an orangutan in Vietnam. Heck yeah. Let's see. I was looking for silver bags last week and all my LCS Yeah, see, the shop that I was in today, they actually had a lot of silver and gold, and magazine bags for some reason. They had like dividers and stuff. They did not have. They had very little like current stuff. So I guess they're in the middle of a reorder. Yeah, yeah, that's basically it. Like I'm gonna go hang out with my friend and have a good time. I usually go over there on Fridays or Saturdays. I try to only do one trip a week. Part because of COVID, part because it gets expensive. All right, so it's pre-week's end, April the 9th. Okay, so the first book I grabbed is Firepower number 10, and I still haven't read this one, so I don't know. And honestly, I haven't really heard many people talk about this one. I feel like, I mean, how many people were talking? Probably like six. I think six was the last time I heard a lot of people talking about Firepower as it dropped. Other than like our Thursday night chat. And so we'll see. I'm really enjoying Firepower. I haven't watched Invincible this week's episode yet, and so that was kind of one of my concerns. Is like I like how family. I don't know. Like there's something to be said for Invincible and the like family stuff that I like in Firepower. And I'm afraid that it's going to take all my Firepower energy away. So. But I'm enjoying Invincible. So let's see. I picked up quite a few books. So I grabbed The Last Ronin number 2. This is issue 2, IDW. I mean, I don't really keep up with like printings and stuff, so I'm sure somebody else can tell me better if this is like a first print, second print situation. But it was in good condition and I like it, so. What does it say? Let's see. Falcon and Winter Soldier today equals wow. Yeah, I haven't watched that one either. I'm getting kind of annoyed because StreamYard has this weird issue. Anyway, oh, so that's a first print? Okay, cool. Was there a second print for number 2, or is it just, or was there only second prints on number 1? Yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I haven't watched that one either, but I haven't watched today's episode yet. But I've been seeing like articles and headlines that are basically saying like they're getting back into the stride of things. So it sounds like people are really enjoying this episode. I really liked the last episode. I don't know how other people felt about it, but it really impressed me the way that they played. What's her name? Oh, the second print was Sal in the Water. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I guess maybe I got the better cover out of the two then. It sounds like you are saying that second one isn't that impressive. I really liked the last Falcon and Winter Soldier episode because Carly Morgenthau, or whatever her name is, I felt like they gave her really good motivations. I know he's like one message in front of you every time with the same thing. Anyway, I really like how they gave her motivations. They kind of gave her own story, because I feel like when they introduced her, I think in the second episode and kind of the speculation around it, everybody kept talking about who does she work for? Does she work for the power broker? Does she work for Baron Zemo? Does she work, like there was a lot of speculation as not about her, but like who she's connected to. And I feel like in the third episode, they really gave her own story and her own motivations. And so not only did that impress me as like a character and on top of that, a villain, but I think it also shows us how much the series could really develop a villain, because imagine if Carly appears in the next like Avengers movie or something, or the next, I don't know, the Falcon movie or whatever they end up doing after this, when she appears on the big screen, the villain is defined. And that's something that, other than Black Panther and I think Captain America, the first soldier or whatever, it feels like Marvel has had a real big problem with giving us fully developed villains. So I'm excited to see how this series model is going to allow them to develop the villain and actually make us feel for them and their side of things as well before we get to the movie. So whenever we get to the movie, they can just fight with the main characters and we don't have to worry about that half of the story being told. So I'm really interested. I'm more interested in what Falcon and the Winter Soldier is gonna set as a status quo for how the MCU is moving forward. Yeah, I'm hearing this episode was even better, so I'm patiently waiting for my brother to get off work. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably watch Falcon and Winter Soldier after this, to be honest, because like it's something I'm okay with my son kind of like catching. He isn't he's into the MCU, not really into. He definitely didn't like WandaVision. I think I showed him like the first episode, and he just 10 minutes in, he was done. Falcon and Winter Soldier, though, I thought he might get into that one because he is into the MCU, and that's more directly connected. And he watched the whole first episode, but he hasn't expressed any interest in watching the second, third, or fourth episode. So I'll probably watch the fourth episode after this because it'll be on in the background and he'll kind of pick it up, but we'll see if he gets any interest in it. Invincible, I'm going to watch tonight, though, after everybody goes to bed, because Invincible is amazing, and I really like the way it's done and stuff. But we run into this I have the same problem with Rick and Morty. Like, my kids, they love the Rick and Morty animation, and Invincible's got a very kid-friendly animation style as well. But there's definitely not kid-friendly. Yeah. See, I did think that, WandaVision, I totally get. I didn't think he would get into it, but I thought I would show him just in case, because he likes the MCU. But I really thought Falcon and Winter Soldier, especially like being on Disney Plus, being the second show they're doing, being more directly MCU styled, I really thought they were going to gear it a little more toward kids. And this series has definitely shown us that they're not really, I don't want to say they're not interested in keeping the kids around, but like it's starting to feel more and more like the shows are for the adults and really developing the adult side of the universe, while the movies are going to be something that's a little more, kid friendly because of the general audience idea. So yeah, he watched the whole first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, but he hasn't been interested in the rest of it. And I know I was saying something else. Oh, like animation. Sometimes like the adult cartoons have such good animation that's very kid friendly that it's hard to watch them. Like my kids will stop and want to watch Rick and Morty if I have it on. So I always have to watch it once they go to bed or before they wake up, And I feel the same way about Invincible. Like my 3-year-old walked in whenever I was watching like the first episode of Invincible before he got all crazy, and she was like into it. I was like, okay, I know this is an adult cartoon and it hasn't really been that adult. So like, I don't know. And then, she left the room, but then once it got to the end, I was like, yeah, I can't watch this anymore. Cause if she's around while it's on, she's going to want to stay around, Okay. Ultra Mega. And just to restate myself here, I don't know anything about covers. I don't watch trailers. I have not seen a single trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I've never seen a trailer for Invincible. I don't ever since Batman versus Superman. I avoid trailers like a plague. And the same thing with previews. I found that there was just too many comics that they were either not even telling me enough to decide if I wanted it or not, or else they would tell me too much and it would be ruined. So I gave up on previews. I don't look at previews. I don't read previews. If I know I really want it and I'm going to need to secure a copy, I'll go ahead and do a pre-order on it. But otherwise, I just walk in the store and grab what I see. So I don't really keep up with a lot of covers and stuff. But Ultra Mega #1, I really enjoyed this book. So they had this printing. I don't know if this is a second print or if this is a variant for the first print. It's not the cover I recognize from what promotional material I did see. So I grabbed that because it looks really cool and I like what Ultra Mega is. Yeah, I listened to a podcast the other day where they were reviewing like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and they just kept saying, this happened, but we already knew that because of the trailer. This happened, but we already knew that because of the trailer. And I'm like, I watched this same episode and I was blown away at every turn. Like, I did not expect Carter to what's her name? Peggy Carter or Susan Carter or whatever. I wasn't expecting her. Like, I had no clue that it wasn't until everybody kept saying, well, we know Falcon gets the shield back because he has it in the trailer. Before that, I had no clue for sure that he was going to get the shield back. Like, even I assumed that much. But because I didn't watch the trailer, I had no clue, and now everybody kind of ruined that for me. We know that Falcon's going to end up with the shield at the end. Let's see here. Actual Dracula says Falcon and Winter Soldier has been great. Was stoked to see the Zemo mask, however, briefly. Yeah. And I think that's a lot of what we're going to get out of the MCU from here going forward. They're really in on the memes and the jokes, and so I feel like we're just going to get tons and tons of brief little cameos and sleight of hand moments to just like pay fan service and all that stuff. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were saying that Thanos' gauntlet is in the background of like Thor 1 or something because they never thought they would get that far, or they weren't sure they were going to go that far with the story. So they went ahead and put it in there as like an Easter egg, and then they had to go back and address it or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's my point is like, I don't think that they knew that like this was going to become what it was, but now they're kind of in on the meme culture. So I'm sure we're going to get more and more of that kind of stuff. What does it say? That may go over the kid's head, but Rick is a savage. So yeah, like he talks over their head, but there's also like a lot of violence and blood and stuff. Like they don't need to watch Pickle Rick yet. They're not ready for that. The Loki trailer is intriguing. Still not sure what show is going to be, but I'm excited for it. Yeah, I saw like one scene where what's his name? The guy with the broken nose, Owen Wilson. I saw like one scene with him talking something about like this is everything you've ever said or something. I don't know. I don't care. Owen Wilson's like very hit and miss for me. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. I often find him kind of annoying, but Marvel and the MCU have, I mean, really just like TV dramas in general at this point kind of have a way of bringing out the best in people. I've always been a very big Paul Reiser fan. I love What I Hate About You. And I like his stand-up stuff. And then they brought him into Stranger Things season 2 and just proved that like how dynamic of an actor he is. And I don't know, for whatever, or even like season 2 of True Detective, not amazing, but as much as I hate Vince Vaughn, he was really good in that role. I really liked him as like a gangster. And like if the MCU wanted to bring him over to play Kingpin, like, well, I mean, I don't know if he would be better than the one we have from Daredevil, but still, I mean, I really liked Vince Vaughn in season 2 of True Detective, and I would love to see that character portrayed more in the style of Kingpin, if that's what it came down to. Again, Owen Wilson, like not like my favorite actor, but I'm sure he'll be fine. Marvel has a really good way of doing that. Let's see. Seems like they have a writer purely focused on the Easter eggs, which is awesome. Yeah, that's something like it definitely seems like they have somebody in place for that to make sure that like there's all kinds of stuff littered through the background. Although, since we're talking about Rick and Morty, there's a podcast I listen to where they interview a lot of like writers and creators on Rick and Morty. And that's something a lot of the animators talk about is like they do a lot of that stuff themselves, like putting all that stuff in the background and everything. Like that's stuff the writers and the animators choose to do because they think it'll be fun. So, but I imagine Marvel has like people in place that their entire job is to like litter the scenery with Easter eggs and all that. So that's a really cool. They've been doing good on that. Yeah, the gauntlet was made by dwarves that made by the Asgardians. That's why they explained that. Oh, yeah, it was like a prototype gauntlet or something was their explanation so they could get away with it. I would argue, oh, man, he looked way... I mean, he didn't look different, but he did look different in Stranger Things, which I think is the most recent thing I've seen him in over the course of like, what, 25, 30 years since What I Hate About You was on. So, yeah, he's a great guy, though. I love his acting. I like his stand-up. Cool dude. Very underrated. And, you know, there's I heard recently that there's a reboot that, like, literally picks up where the end of the show left off, as if nothing has changed. I forget what streaming service I heard it was on, but I'm interested because, man, that's like such an underrated sitcom. I saw this and I grabbed it, and it's like a kid's comic from what I understand. It's got Chris Samney on it. I think it's like one of his projects. Very cool looking, but I grabbed it for the kids. I thought they might enjoy reading it. So it's a really cool looking book. It's Oni Press, Chris Samney. So I went ahead and grabbed that one. They had No Heroine 1 and 2, which is like the only Frank Gogol stuff I haven't read. They had 1 and 2. I think it's a 3-part series. So I'm still missing the third one, obviously. But at least I can finally get started, because that's one thing I've hated is I kind of missed that one. I was really busy when it was coming out and stuff. And so I totally like missed out on that one. And so now I have it. Okay, so here, Origins. We have this. I have number 1. I grabbed number 2, number 3, number 5, and number 6. And this story was amazing. I loved it. Every bit of it. Like every issue just like blew me away. And the last one came out this week, came out on Wednesday. And I was able to read that, and I loved it. I love the way it ended. I don't think I'm supposed to admit this out loud, but I teared up a bit at the end because I don't want to ruin the whole thing, but it basically comes full circle and leaves us in I wouldn't say like a complete place, but like it kind of makes its point and then leads us to understand that like this is a cycle and that these things will happen again. You know, what has happened will happen again. It's really cool. The whole story is basically about, I guess like the theme of it is kind of like technology versus humanity and finding a balance in the two. And so basically this scientist, he created nanobot. Well, first he created like androids and like robots. And then he kind of developed it into artificial intelligence. And then he developed these nanobots. And then the nanobots basically took over the planet and suffocated life out of everything. Like they killed all the cattle. They killed all the animals. They strangled the life out of every plant. They blocked out the sun and basically, they basically killed off everything. And so that's kind of like where you pick up. Well, I mean, of course, the guy that created all the technology, he got old and died. And the technology, because it's like killed all the life off and stuff, like, technology, artificial intelligence always needs a task. It always needs a job. And it ran out of tasks. It doesn't know what to do because it's done everything that it set out to do. And so, yeah, it's okay to feel emotions. Yeah, that's true. So basically the technology that strangled out all of life, it ran out of things to do. And the only way it could figure out to get another mission, to get another job, was to have somebody give it to them. So they recreated the guy that made them. And so that's what the story is focused on, is like him coming back to life and like trying to figure out how the technology remade him. Like how was it able to give birth to life again? And he's basically like a clone of his original self, and he grows up real fast. And as he moves through this world, he starts to learn all these crazy things that he doesn't know because he has no memories. Like he downloads memories in like the second issue. They download all of his original memories so that he'll like understand how to give the technology a mission and like what happened, like why did it all go wrong, and so they're like having to fight with technology. It's a really cool story. It develops, and it actually, like, it doesn't outright state itself, but it makes a very strong point, that like you have to balance yourself between technology and humanity, and like you can't just live your life online like I do, but you have to get out in the world and explore and understand, because otherwise the things that you do will be like data driven, and they'll be, like, we can only predict so far. We don't know what the human complications are, right? We can invent technology, but there's a human complication of making using that technology for bad or for wrong. And so that's kind of the point it's making, is finding a balance there. But the story that it takes you through to get there is so good. Like, every issue just like does an excellent job. I saw a couple of copies. They had like 2 copies of We Live, so I bought both of them. Number 3 and number 4. This series is amazing. I really love it. I think Two Brothers was kind of the first ones in the community to start making the point of like collect your way. Nerd Herd, I know they say something along the same lines, like collect what you want. We've heard John's Comics with Kids. He's kind of moved into that realm, and so that's kind of what it is for me with We Live. Like, honestly, I don't care if I own every copy of that series. That's an important series to me. It made it's a big, great, awesome series, and I love it. And so I pick up every copy I see whenever I'm out in the shops, because you can't go wrong having plenty of copies of We Live. What's up?
Just trying to get by, my man. I'm not.
Aren't we all? Whoops, why am I not? Hang on. I might have to grab my headphones.
I can hear you.
I don't know what the deal is with these buds. They're not connecting right now.
How's it going?
Come on, Bluetooth.
Connecting.
I barely hear you.
You can barely hear me? I was just asking for testing purposes.
Yeah, because you're going through my speakers.
Okay. Testes. 1, 2, 3.
Did you ever watch Testes?
Not into that, Ryan.
I wish.
Well, I don't know if he's watching or just listening. Yes, I did. Rami Salami got it in yesterday.
I guess Mr. Rami Salami there is talking about Nightwing #1. Which, yeah, that was a great scene. That was really cool.
I still haven't read that. I'm on the fence about his new Batman book he's writing too.
There's too many Batman books.
No, that's my point.
Like, I was looking at my list for, I think whenever I was putting together my list for the 14th, next week, there's like 3 Batman books coming out. I was like, are you kidding me? And then
Joker,
he made
Urban Legends, Detective.
And then Batman made a unnecessary appearance in both of the best books that came out this week.
Yeah, he's
whatever.
I hope it was an unnecessary appearance in one of them.
I mean, obviously what we got now is just a little bit of setup, but
I don't think that they would put that in there if he's not going to show up later. Like he's
I mean, he's definitely going to show up later. I just want to know how important it is he even shows up.
It's not.
It's so dumb.
I haven't even read it yet. It hadn't even come out yet. I can tell you it's not necessary.
So there was that, and I don't know. I guess it's kind of spoilery, even though this is supposed to be spoiler free. But Swamp Thing #2, not only was it amazing, but for some reason, Batman had to make an appearance on 2 pages. They could have just made the whole thing shorter by 2 pages, in my opinion.
It
But
wasn't even full pages either, was it? You just had like 2 panels in the whole book.
was it
Well,
only
one.
2 panels? I
It
could have
was just
swore. I
one.
know he was at least consumed 1 page.
It was just in the bottom on the right hand side, from what I thought.
And then, of course, he also got to make an ad.
Oh yeah. That's the one I'm on the fence about.
I don't know. I'm sure that's going to be good. I just feel like they're really, wasting. Like, why put it out now? There's so much Batman stuff right now. Why would you put that out now?
I made it. I saw it was only 6 issues, and that made me excited. But the fact that it even exists makes me not excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's good. Like, I'm sure I'll end up reading it, but I don't know. It's just like, why now? Why would you put that out right now? You already got more Batman on the horizon. You got plenty of Batman right now. He apparently has to be in every book that hits shelves. So, like, why did they need to put that out right now, Super looking forward to this Mortal Kombat tourney. Oh, yeah, okay.
So with Connor Hawk back, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. I'm excited to see it. I wonder how much of it's going to be like straight Mortal Kombat tournament fights and how much is going to be like story content,
Well, Joshua Williams is doing it, so probably a decent balance.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. It's just because like Mortal Kombat is fun to play, but like when they do Mortal Kombat stories, it's just like all fighting, like it gets old,
But you gotta have something to keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I hope it is a good blend of story and stuff. Did you read Suicide Squad?
Yeah, Fred Swamp Thing.
Sleeping.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
kind of
this is
asleep right
literally one of
now.
my favorite books out right now. It was
I
so
don't,
good.
I don't know if you noticed this, but this is no offense to you or our conversation, but I've yawned like 7 times in the past 5 minutes already.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Yeah, man. How are things going over there?
It's fun, man.
That's
It is
what's
what it is. It wouldn't be fun to do it like this all year long, but it's fun to do it in spurts.
yeah. Seeing Damien disown his father. Heck yeah.
Yeah, for being useless. I hope that this Mortal Kombat tourney storyline is just kind of like an intro storyline, and they get back to the topic of Damien having his little black case book, because
Mm-hmm.
they started something and touched on something with him, like briefly telling us the readers that there's been like basically an underground low key assassination attempt going in Bruce's direction since he was a kid. So I'd like to see that hashed out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's definitely plenty of material for them to work with. So it'll be exciting to see how much of it they use and how much of it's just like straight fighting. It'll be cool though. I hope the fights are brutal and the story is like really involved.
Yeah.
I think that'll keep my interest. Please just like no, don't do boring fights. If we have a fight book, let's get into it.
It would be cool to see how removed from Batman his story is going to be for a while, you know? Like, are
Yeah,
they going to do that stupid thing like Batman's been there in the shadows over his shoulder watching him the whole time?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they've kind of shown us that they're not that interested in getting away from it.
No.
I mean, he did a 1 page appearance or 2 panel appearance in Swamp Thing, and they put him in Suicide Squad. Why is he in Suicide Squad?
I don't know. Guess he's got some villains in there.
And
They're going after Talon, so I having not read it, maybe they lend a thought Well, I'm so sorry, dude. They led an assault on Arkham, and that's his territory. They wouldn't go get Talon. That's his territory.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this second issue, it's on the edge of all that. They're in Arkham when the Joker gas goes off. And so that's kind of the I guess like the time constraint they're working against in the second issue is getting out of there before the gas gets to them. And it's pretty cool the way that it all plays out. It was
I'm
really good.
excited to read it. I think I'm going to read that right after Immortal Hulk, and I don't know when any of that's going to go down.
And this is kind of a spoiler, but not really. But at the end of Suicide Squad, it's to be continued. The next story is Assault on Teen Titans Academy.
Oh, nice.
So apparently, Suicide Squad is moving through the DC universe because
Is
this
it possible that like the Red X stuff could get hashed out that quick and they could go scoop him up?
the Red X and
Yeah.
put him in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, is that even? You think that's even feasible?
Ooh, I don't know because he's kind of young. Have they ever done a young Suicide Squad member?
I mean, I don't think Amanda Waller cares. I don't know if she has an age requirement, just a blackmail requirement.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she does, but as far as like DC editorial,
Yeah,
if you put a kid in Suicides, because people die in this one too. Like that's the other great thing about Suicide Squad is like they have no problem like building and killing a team in every single issue.
I guess Superboy would be the guiding light to that happening over there. Why they would go over there with Connell?
You need to read the second one.
I guess
Like Superboy and
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, like they do not get along, and it's great. It's really great. I'm excited for. I didn't think I was going to be this into Suicide Squad, but that first issue really hooked me, and I was like, yeah, but I'm sure the second one's just going to be okay. Like, no, they bring in more people and like basically build another team and then kill off like half of those. So
Keep them
they,
coming.
yeah, they have no, and like it's not. I mean, there's some like star power to it, I guess, with like Superboy and Peacemaker, but like these other characters, like they just don't care. They bring them in and they're just like, yeah, activate the neck things.
That's what I kind of assumed James Gunn was going for with such a large cast of B and C list villains.
Mm-hmm.
It gives us the ability as the viewers to not feel safe with our cast members. It was kind of like obvious as hell with the first Suicide Squad movie. Like, okay, we got one guy in here that's here to die.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't even on any of the advertisements.
I was gonna say the guy that wasn't in any of the trailers didn't get one of those cool like splash intros, and we know like he starts out like already having issues with everybody's like, yeah, that guy's gonna die real quick.
shows up late, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, they had no qualms about telegraphing that death.
I thought that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. Like, so yeah, Suicide Squad. They were in Arkham this week, which like Batman 106 is when all the like Joker toxins going off. So apparently they're in Arkham at that same time. Now they're going to be at the Teen Titans Academy. So it'll be interesting to see, if they continue to move through the universe like this and keep touching on all these other books we're reading as well. Are they going to show up in Swamp Thing?
I hope not. I don't want Batman showing up. I don't want Suicide Squad showing up. I don't want Superman showing up. I want just to have a nice Swamp Thing story.
I mean, I'm much more interested in a pure Swamp Thing story, definitely. I'd rather nobody show up. But at the same time, if somebody has to show up, give me this Suicide Squad. Like, I'm loving what they're doing with this. It's just great. I love how considerate and inconsiderate they are at the same time. Like, they're there to get Talon, but Talon is treated basically like an object. Like they do not care at all about him, just that Waller needs him. And so like that's the mark, like they treat him like a MacGuffin, they're just there to get him and get out. They don't care anything else about the whole situation,
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they play that out going to Teen Titans, especially with so many people there at this point too. Like with the old heads there, the young people. What was that kid's name with all the attitude problems in issue 1?
I don't even remember.
Well, if they go there and they end up leaving with I don't even remember with them, that would be cool.
Because everybody died in the first one. It was just Peacemaker.
There was one other person. I mean, the first issue of Teen Titans, that kid
Oh,
just sitting there throwing all the energy blasts. Brick.
yeah, Brick, the one
That'd
that
be
did
cool
the EMP.
if he leaves willingly with them or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be really interesting.
Like, and they don't even want him to come, but he's like, I'm coming. I'm going to throw this blue ball at you right now. I'm coming with you.
Yeah, that would be interesting because Tubi. I'm so interested. Like, it's the stupidest thing. So you know it's gonna be really cool when he like turns into a tube for no reason, but like they make it cool. I don't know. They always do. I'm always like, this is gonna be stupid, and then they do it. You're like, man, how cool was that? Have you read anything this week? Just Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing, yeah. I have my priorities straight. I read King in Black like
oh yeah.
I just
didn't
put
even
up a
read it.
free
I don't
little
think I am.
I put up a free little digital version of it. I feel like I can represent just fine for you if you don't want to.
Yeah, I feel like
I'll start all my conversations with Ryan and I agree, and then I'll proceed to critique it.
I feel the only thing that's really annoying me about it is like it sounds like it turned into exactly what I said it was like on issue 3, and everybody's like, no, you're not right, blah, blah blah. Like you're always negative, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like this whole series has felt like nothing.
I said it when I read issue 2. I'm like, well, that was pointless. I'm glad that we got that issue out of the way. Now I can get back to the story. And then when in issue 3, we didn't get back to any story happening. Like when zero story happened in issues 2, 3, and 4, and barely anything happened in 1 story wise, just showing up. It's just
oh yeah, 1 was a great spectacle. He totally delivered on the spectacle of it all.
Yeah, well, and I guess just because all you had to deliver was just get a character to a location. That's all you had to do for that.
Yeah, because it was literally just Noel like showing up.
Yeah, he's like, hello. But it was the rest of it for me just was, I don't know, there's the hype thing, but I wasn't too hyped for it to begin with, like I'm gonna read this, but I'm not like, oh come on, I need it, I can't wait for it. Then when I read it, I'm like, why are people sitting here like just like, oh, this was awesome? Quit. Don't tell them you think this is awesome, or they'll give you more stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like this is not awesome. This is a fun trash book. I mean, I enjoy trash movies, that are like Sharknado is a thing. You know what I mean? They make multiple movies about tornadoes with sharks in them because they're absolutely fun. They don't attempt to be good by like any kind of like
it's just
like a hard standard. Yeah, it's just meant to be goofy and fun, and that's what this turned into. It was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it even felt like the first issue was like a great popcorn movie, but I mean that's like 15 minutes of your movie, and then the rest of it you got to fill out with those other 4 issues. Like, it even kind of fails as a popcorn movie,
Well,
I
did hear where someone say that someone said that they had heard that in the last issue of Return of the Valkyries that Null had gotten depowered, and that they weren't sure about that, but they thought that they had heard Null had gotten depowered in that book.
And so that was the case, they were able to beat him in 5.
It would explain why so much was the way it was in 5. And also, if that's the case, that was really crappy on Marvel's part to make every single one of the 57 tie-in issues not needed at all, and then make one of them magically needed for the plot. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
You got to go one way or another with tie-ins and events. You can't just dip your foot in the water one time.
Yeah, because everybody decides if they're gonna buy the tie-ins from the very beginning. So you have to set the message there, like they're important or they're not.
But I also want to point out that maybe you don't have to take that into consideration because so many just I don't know, zombie fans of this are just walking through saying, "Oh, that was awesome!" Like, dude, you don't even comprehend that you missed something. You do not even comprehend that you missed a huge plot point. You just read straight through it like it was smooth. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
blows my mind.
I feel like there's just like so many like Kate's worshippers right now. They're like, oh, he's amazing, so I like everything he does. But like crossover's been up and down even on its best day. And Kingdom Black started at its best and went downhill. So talking, Thor's been pretty solid, but even it had those two wonky issues, and the way they handled Black Winter made no sense. So, like I don't understand why these people are such like Kate zombies.
I don't know. Like when it comes to like, there's like an artist that I've like just decided in myself to collect all of their artwork. Period. Even that being the case, I'm still critical of some of it. I'm like
Hmm.
this definitely is this one's just getting bought for the completionist aspect. This I
Yeah.
don't see how people like. Why wouldn't you want to be like, yeah, you can do better, bro? Like, I just gave you my money.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is like, if I really like you as a creator, of course I'm going to follow you, but it doesn't mean that everything you do is going to be good either.
Yeah,
Like God Country is probably one of my favorite comics of all time. But at the same time, that doesn't give Donny Cates a blanket pass on what he does for the rest of his career. Like I'm still going to be critical of what he does,
yeah. I'm
you
looking
know?
forward to being critical of Geiger, and I think like Jeff Johns is one of like the best writers in modern era for comics. You know what I mean? Just by pure happenstance, like when I did the giveaway stuff last week of stuff that I feel people should definitely read. Looking back on it, there's a lot of Jeff Johns written stuff in there. But that doesn't mean that automatically means Geiger is going to be great. He did write Doomsday Clock, which a lot of people are like that was trash.
I, my only opinion on him is he's a piece of shit.
Is he a disclaimer guy now?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, for one thing, like I believe that people outside of comics don't take comics seriously because there's too many creators that don't take comics seriously, and Jeff Johns is definitely one of those.
Is this
Um,
about his deadlines?
just his attention to detail and deadlines. It makes no sense that you're supposed to be a figurehead of the industry. Like there are people that would put him on their Mount Rushmore of comics, but he can't even take the job seriously.
Yeah, I don't know how much it would in my very, very limited understanding of it, like admittedly. I don't know how much it would be him not taking it seriously or like having found his max. I think he might have hit his max unintentionally or unknowingly. But he just takes on too much or wants to have his hand in too many things,
Hmm.
like trying to do the TV shows and
But
trying to
priorities are
produce. And
priorities. If it's a
I
priority, it will
100%
get
agree.
done.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
I
Hopefully,
think he enjoys
it,
the fandom that loves him in comics. I think it's a much more connected thing. And I
I
think
guess
that's
not
why
as
he
much.
maintains his comics work. But I think he would rather be making movies because he makes more money.
Now, either way, I hope that with Geiger being a more personal project, being an image thing, it's not him just doing a job; it's him doing his job. Maybe we'll at least get him on time. That'd be a start.
It's ironically, it's more important than ever that he's on time because DC is going to sell. It has a built-in fan base. So if he's behind a deadline for a DC book, it's still going to get purchased because there's a fan base sticking around. But whenever you go to do creator own, like you are the brand. So
Yeah.
he's
Did
definitely going to
you
have to be more on time than ever.
did you pick up or read that book Tankers from Bad Idea that dropped this week?
Nuh-uh.
Me neither.
I've
Um,
heard
I, I
mixed
got
things
my
about it.
issue one of ENIAC in over here too in one of these mailboxes, so I'm excited to read it. The tankers look cool though, like Exo Squad with dinosaurs running around. Like what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks cool. The book is definitely quality. Like everybody that did get it has commented on how solid the whole thing is constructed, you know. But
I wonder if he woke up from a weird dream and just like, I've got to write this down. That sounds like Jewel.
yeah. But yeah, I've heard as far as the tankers story and stuff, people said like it's real, like just like mindless mechs versus dinosaurs, and that sounds like a lot of fun. So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like a lot of people are like, I don't know how much everybody's gonna like this because it's just like really mindless. Looks cool, a lot of
Well,
fun, but very mindless.
judging how the fan conversations have gone this week across a lot of platforms, I think that's exactly what people are looking for.
I mean, it kind of sounds like a Kong versus Godzilla kind of situation.
Oh, that
So
was so fun.
I still haven't watched it, but I mean
That
that's
that was mindless fun.
yeah, that's the opinion I've heard from everybody. If you just like don't worry about the humans, don't worry about the plot, it's all stupid, it makes no sense, but the spectacle it delivers on. And so
And
that
all that was good.
yeah.
I can't remember who my favorite non-giant monster character is from any of the classic Godzilla movies because I never remember any of them. So go into it with the right head on your shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Godzilla is perfect for the kids. Yeah, I might put it on this weekend. We had a lot going on with Easter and everything, so it was hard to find like a decent chunk of time with everybody around. But I'm thinking like Saturday or Sunday for lunch, we're just gonna put on Kong versus Godzilla and eat probably some nachos. And oh man, dude,
I'm a big fan
I
of
wish
nachos, aren't
Comic
you?
Vet was here right now. Last night I made tacos and I took the ground beef and I had like this bacon that we've had for a while. I was like, man, it's gonna go bad eventually, so we're never gonna
Eventually.
use it. So I just like chopped it up into tiny bits and like mixed it in with the ground beef and made like tacos with bacon in it. So baller.
You're
Well, yeah.
definitely a bacon guy, aren't you?
Actually, not really. I
You
never
just you just
have
made
been.
bacon wrapped ground beef.
Yeah, it's only been the last couple of years that like bacon's become a fixture in my. But like even like a couple of years ago, if I went to get a burger or something, I never wanted the bacon on it. You know, like it never.
Mm.
And I don't really care that much for like bacon with my breakfast. You know,
Yeah, me neither.
but the last couple of years, I've found it really great as just like a seasoning. You know, to add to something.
There were a few years back, like maybe 3 or 4 years back, there's the whole bacon craze in pop culture where they're making like underwear with bacon on it and
Bacon
t-shirts with
mayonnaise,
bacon mayonnaise, yeah,
bacon
everything.
shakes.
This is wild. Now I know y'all have Sonic drive-ins where you're at, the
Mhm.
restaurants. Yeah, I know like man, I want to say it was about 2 years ago in summertime they had the pickle slushy.
Ugh.
No, and that's what everyone said was ugh, but it was delicious. It was delicious.
I don't even want to eat a pickle, man.
I
So
love I love pickles.
hmm, can't do it. Ugh. Man, I read Green Lantern. I don't think I'm gonna stick around for that.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up. I wasn't too excited about uh, the little tease we got for it. I
It
was
felt
I feel like there's a Green Lantern title that's going to be coming down the road that we're not seeing solicited yet with the way the future state stuff ended with Hal meeting the Far Sector Green Lantern at the end of future state.
oh yeah.
I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, I definitely want to read Far Sector now because I don't know, I've heard that's a great run and so cuz I want some Green Lantern in my life. I think that's why I read the Future State Green Lantern and then
Hmm.
I tried this one cuz it was a number 1 and I really like this main character. She's really cool. She's like a spunky little Hispanic teenager with some kind of gauntlet that gives her basically like ring powers. So that was cool. But like the book itself is like it seems very deeply rooted in like Green Lantern lore and mythos.
Oh, well, now I want to read it.
And it's like it's got a whole lot going on. Like maybe if I read it with like nothing else to do, so I could just sit there and stare at pages at a time. But just like trying to sit down and read it real quick, like it was there was so much going on.
That's all. That's all Green Lantern. That's John's whole run.
Yeah.
plus some of the Green Lantern Corps tie-in stuff. Man,
Yeah.
that was such an amazing time for Green Lantern. It was fantastic.
I want to read that recent one that just wrapped up. Like, what is it, season 2 or whatever?
Yeah, the one that I picked up that hardback for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to
I'm
read that
excited to get
run. I
into
want to read
that.
Far Sector. I'd
I mean,
like to
that's
read the
Grant
Rebirth
Morrison,
stuff.
so it's Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp, so
Yeah.
that's a guaranteed hit.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this Green Lantern that came out today was not for like newbies to Green Lantern. It had some like Hawk Girl stuff in there too, but it was like a lot of like Guardians and Green Lanterns and all that kind and like I don't know. They keep saying OA and stuff and OAN. All I could think about was that terrible news network.
OA, not OA, OA.
I was like, what is going on here?
There's that God, what is the name of that? I know what you're talking about. That like soup that's like a Fox News version of Fox News.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think theirs is AON, American. I don't know. American some.
I would expect it to be
No.
OAN One America Network or something
Yeah, One
extremely.
America Network. Yeah, that's what it is.
There's so much implication in that.
Yeah.
Well, the kids just showed up and we go
Another Russia.
yeah. The kids just showed up and we go hold the wives,
It's
get
like
them in
4
and stuff.
comics worth of story.
All right, Ryan. Let me bounce, man.
Okay.
Kids just showed up. Weird schedule right now.
Cool. I
All
got
right,
like
man.
really just like one more book I really want to talk about, so I'll be out of here soon enough too.
All right, I'll talk to you later, bro.
All right, man. It's like 4 comics worth of story. We talked about so much right there. I'm gonna assume you were talking about the Green Lantern that came out today. In which case, I would agree. I feel like there was a ton of information in that book that it was really hard for me to absorb, not having a bunch of Green Lantern background. So, okay, and then I don't even know if anybody's still watching, but boom, Magic: The Gathering. I enjoyed this. Honestly, like the first couple of pages, I was like, it looks cool. But the first couple of pages, I was like, I don't know. This is reminding me of like the Silmarillion, where it's just like a ton of narration about a universe being born. And I don't know. That gets dry really fast. But then we get into what, maybe 6 pages in, we start to get into like the actual characters and the action and stuff. And it blew me away. I got myself a mystery pack. Ooh, nice. That should be fun. So, yeah, I really enjoyed Magic, this first one. I play Magic off and on these days. I'm not like a regular player. I mostly play online, or my son, he also enjoys it. So sometimes we'll play. But I've always really enjoyed the world, and I was like really into Magic back in high school and stuff. I've always loved the world and the lore. I read a couple of like the novels and stuff, but like I'm not usually into high fantasy stuff, but like Game of Thrones was cool, and Magic: The Gathering is like, and like the Final Fantasy setting, like Magic and Final Fantasy kind of remind me similarly. Like they have a lot of science and technology, but they also have like magic and fantasy elements to them. So I thought it was really cool that they had a Magic comic coming out. I checked it out. I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm really excited to see how they expand on everything and where they take it from here. So while I was in the store, I grabbed this one. And like I said earlier, like I don't pay attention to solicits and stuff, so I don't know if this is known. I don't know. This is really cool looking though, so I'm gonna open this up and see what the inside has in it. Not into high fantasy, and playing Magic is one hell of a mix. Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I like about like the Final Fantasy games, the way that they build their universe and their world and stuff. It's very much a they have like technology, and then they have magic, and they got like steampunk, and Oh, okay. So it is like a mystery. What's in here? Sweet. Okay. Well, I'm about to open. I don't know. Is it only one? I don't want to ruin your surprise, but I did want to open this on stream since I knew I was going to be streaming today. So I thought I would open it and see if there's like a surprise for me. That's cool. I didn't know it was like an actual mystery pack. I love booster packs. It's just like fun to open them. I don't even really care about the cards in them half the time. Okay, so it's a random set of variants. Okay, one, I wish I had known that. I might have bought a whole bunch of them. Two, let's see. This will be cool to compare later. I'll post this on Instagram, and Rami Salami can post whenever he opens his, and we'll see if we got the same variant. So let's see what it is. This is pretty cool, exciting. I've never done a booster pack comic book. Ooh, what is this? It looks a little vampirical. Does it tell me like what? I guess it doesn't say specifically. It just says who all. Magic Pack variant cover by Mirka and Dolfo. So I guess that's this one. This is cool though. I like it. It looks kind of like a vampire. Like maybe a vampire. I was gonna say like Paris, the Eiffel Tower, but no, it looks more like Transylvania or something. That's really cool. Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw the little like internet icon pop up, so I guess I caught a lag wave on my internet. But yeah, this is. It says the mystery pack variant covered by Mirka and Dolfo. I don't think it's just the one like you said though. So I don't know if he did like a whole bunch or she did a whole bunch of different covers, but that's cool.
Camping.
No, not right now.
You're done with the video?
We'll see. All right. Well, that was cool. I definitely dig the hidden variants. So, hidden Planeswalker variants. Sweet. Okay, cool. So, that's pretty much a stream. That was an hour. Not bad. She wants, oh my God. I absolutely hate the way their tablets are done. You know, they have all these games that gets paid for through ads. And so they pop up with other games. And so then they want all these games to download and stuff. And there's no space on their tablet for it. So, and like I tell them, that's not a game. It's basically an app trying to collect your data and fish its way into your system. So I have like all of their Play Store and everything disabled. And so they get frustrated because they can't update or download anything anymore. But like I told them, if they had done right in the first place and stopped clicking all the ads, it would have been, they wouldn't have to be disabled. So anyway, this has been a blast. It's been a whole hour. And I'm probably going to read some Firepower and watch, yeah, just fishing with a PH instead of an F. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a live stream. Nottingham, let's see. I am going to say Nottingham and Bliss. 2 books I really wanted to read, and they didn't have them at the shop. I don't have them on pre-order or anything. So I might hit up one of the other shops tomorrow. Well, maybe this evening on my way to my friend's house. I might stop. There's a shop on the way there. So I might drop in and see if they have it. If not, I'm going to hit a couple of the other shops around here tomorrow. But that's about it. So, yeah, I'm going to go see what game she wants and tell her no. And then I might watch Falcon and Winter Soldier or read Firepower. Thanks for stopping in. This has been a live stream. Keep flipping pages.